welcome in everybody. Don't even know if there's anybody in the room yet, but welcome in everybody. We are back to the Witchy 101. I do believe it is show 6 we're on this time. So tonight we are going to be talking a bit about dark energies, light energies, why we work with them, why a lot of people do feel that they're a bit negative and things, but us witches feel as if everything is for positive reasons. So we have been away for, I think it's 2 weeks, guys, but we are now back, weather permitting, of course. So it's nice to be back, actually. So we'll introduce our sisters as always. Our beautiful sister Willow and our beautiful sister Mystical. Hi, ladies. What have you been up to?
You want to go first?
Who's going first?
Okay.
All right then.
Everybody.
I'm all right.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Remember that because of the time, guys.
Yeah, sorry, we're not talking
welcome
over
everybody.
each other, just the delay.
So yeah, hello. I'm all right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll
all
go
right.
ahead and... There's a big delay.
Right, Mystical's going first. So there's I'm gonna shut up and zip my mouth.
Okay. So now that I got my giggles, sorry everybody. We wait and then we want to the other one to go and then we wait and it's just like Okay, so I'm glad to be back with a Witchy 101 and I'm still laughing. Excuse me. Hello everybody that's coming in. Gothic, PPR, Curtis. So we
welcome
got
in,
two
everybody. Nice to be
Cooper
back.
So, yeah, everybody knows me so far that's in here for the people coming in. I do paranormal investigations. I show workings, how to do. Some people call them spells. I call them workings. It's a matter of play on words, I guess. I consider myself a spiritual being. My two other best buddies in the world are witches. And Sherry's trying her best not to talk. I have an Etsy shop, a Macari shop. I have a eBay shop. I sell all kinds of stuff. I make oils. I make powders. I show how to use them. Um, Pretty much, I have all kinds of stuff in my playlist. If you've not subscribed to all of us, please subscribe to all of us. We all have a lot of different things on our channels. And if you have any questions at any time that we're in here, just ask the questions. And now I'll zip it and it will be Sherry's turn. You're muted, sis.
I'm muted. Sorry, guys. Right. So I'm Sherry, obviously known as Willow. I obviously do investigations. I am a witch. I'm going to say nothing about sister down there. Keep saying that she's this spiritual practitioner. Well, you know what I think. But yeah, obviously, we really love that we're doing these shows. And today is going to be really cool because we can talk to you and defy to you what the light and the dark actually means. Instead of you always thinking it's good and evil, you're going to understand our way of working and that it's not as negative as people try to make it out to be. So we hope you enjoy the show and just ask us if you've got anything you're not sure about. We're happy to answer and lots of love to you all. Over to Sister Drew. Zip, 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 zip.
Definitely, guys, definitely. Right, so I'm just going to, because it is a bad reception tonight, guys, and because we have all got a lot to say about this subject, I'm going to say my part first, just so that we're not talking over each other. So I've been busy all week, as you all know. I've been taking a new course, which is to really try and get my business out there, to try and figure out how to get up and running. So in bulk is today, and usually, as you know, I would set up a full altar and I would usually do a big procedure, but I've not had time to do that. So because there was a lot of things last year that I really want to get out of my head, I want to get out my environment. So this is where the dark energy will come in for me, okay? And this is how I'm going to explain the light and dark workings to you. So we do workings for people that is usually for healing. It is usually to bring in abundance, love, luck, everything that is positive, okay? But there is times that we do have to do things that is maybe seen as a little bit negative, as people will say, because we do have to cut cords. We do have to also rid negative things out of our life. And in order to rid negative things out your life, it can look a bit scary on an altar. But to us, it's not scary because it really is just things that we're putting in place to rid an energy of. Such as tonight, I don't know if you can see that. I have got a yellow candle on my altar. It is anointed with Hecate's oil. It also has got inscriptions on there of my name, my date of birth, my business, my intention for the rest of the year going forward. Because remember, Imbolc is about saying goodbye to the dark winter and now welcoming in the spring. So essentially, what we're doing is we're ridding the darkness there as well. So that is also a dark, okay, and we're welcoming the light. If you see me emphasising dark light. So the candle could be a bit scary looking at people for me tonight, guys, because I've got pins in it. Aye, son. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, pal. Love you too. Bye bye. So I've got a yellow candle, and I don't think you can even see it, but it's got pins in it. And the pins is everything that I felt that I needed to rid from last year. So when I was putting those pins in that candle, I was saying that I wanted to get rid of the evil eye. I wanted to get rid of any negative energies that are around me that I have picked up anywhere. Also, a couple of other things and a couple of other little things in my community and things that I wanted to kind of sort out. And it isn't anything bad. It's more about my thoughts and my feelings. It's to get the things out my life. So a lot of people, because they would say, "Oh, that looks a bit scary that you're putting pins in things." It's not scary, guys. It's just that I'm ridding that dark energy, that dark thing, that dark emotion, the dark things that stop me from being abundant, if you like. And I'm welcoming them in the light, and I'm welcoming in the light this year. So that's kind of how I'm going to explain it for you. In your workings, you can use the dark to get rid of it. You can also use the dark to manifest things. There is a saying that it's easier to manifest in the dark than it is the light. So it's all about in your mind. So when you look in your mind, what do you see? You see darkness. So that is also another way of seeing it. You can't see anything at all without dark, because if you don't have dark, you don't have light. So the two of them balance off each other. So just remember that there is other people out there that can go a little bit deeper into things with the dark energy and things, and I'm not denying that, guys. But for us in our community, we only use dark energy, and it is only energy. It's not dark spirits, it's not dark beings, it's not dark anything else. It's dark energy to welcome in light. It's dark energy that you want to push out. It's anything that you can see as a negative and a positive, really, is the way I want to explain it. But we are going to take questions and things. So it's over to one of my sisters. I don't know one wants to go next. Just don't argue.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Right.
Sherry.
So I agree a lot with what
Welcome
Sister
in,
Drew's
everybody.
saying. When you hear the terms white and black, people always presume it to be good or evil, and it's not. What you got to remember is the light energy is the way of our universe in our world. It's what makes a balance in this world. So sometimes we get faced with situations that can't just be solved by the light, it can be solved by the dark energy as well. Now, when I say a dark energy or negative or something that's going to do really bad to you, it's just an energy that is different to the light energy, but still does the same sort of thing, just in the opposite way, in my opinion. Like my instance, obviously, was a little way back. Like, obviously, there was a situation that was going on with someone I knew, and we needed to help that person to get rid of these problems and these people that were in their life. So we done what would be known as like a return to sender spell. Now, to a lot of people, they think that that's really bad, and it means that we're cursing back on that person, or we're bringing that bad luck back on that person. We're not. What we're doing is we're sending back to them what they first put out, because it's not relevant to that person and shouldn't have been done. So we're just sending back what they've given out to protect that person. We've not put no ill intent into that. We've not asked for them to be hurt or anything like that. We don't work along that line. And as I was saying to you earlier, you know, there are some spells, like such as Sister Drew, like saying about the candle where she puts the pins in. A lot of people would associate to being voodoo, negative energy, bad energy. You're doing bad things when you're not. You're, like she said, she's just removing all of that negative energy and those things that don't serve her, which is very much what the embolic is about. The embolic is about bringing to surface and releasing all of the energy and the things that don't serve you anymore, and making pathway and vision for new things. And my view on light and dark is that within the mind, some of us see in the light and some of us see in the dark. That doesn't mean that one person's bad and one person's good. It just means that we see through vision a different way. And like Sister Drew said, there would not be darkness without light, like there wouldn't be light without darkness. There is that element in both of them. And this world is yin and yang. It is light and dark. And that is what we conflict and have energy in as well. So there's a difference between using the dark and the light energy to do something good, and somebody that's a little bit more further in that and does it to the ways that they cause harm on people and things like that. We do not do that. What we do is we give justice to those that deserve it, okay? And it's not done with ill intent. It's done with good intent and knowing. So that's my category on the light and dark, that it's not bad like you guys think, and it's very useful. Sister Mystical.
Okay, I'm up. Okay, I'm gonna try to and the way that they explained it is perfect, because that is 100% true. I'm gonna try to put a little bit of a twist on it to get people to actually visualize what we are referring to. When people say dark and light, they think dark is evil, as they said, they think light is good. No, they're two separate energies. Think of it as, picture the universe in your head, okay? Now, if you have to do a working and you need it to work fast, if you picture the universe, there is more of the darkness, darkness in the universe there than there is light in the universe. Now, the darkness is more as a void. You look at the universe, you see void. Yeah, you see specks of light and planets and stars and all of that within that void. So what the specks you see, that would be considered light. But if you're putting it in a pie, there's going to be more of that dark, more of that void than there is of the light. So if you are working and you're using that darkness, you're not working with it because it's evil. You're working with it because there's more of it. Therefore, your working will work faster. It's like asking 10 people to help with the working versus 3 people to work with the working. So you have to kind of see it that way. It's the energies that you're working with, not good, not bad. Get that all out of your head, okay? So when like Sherry was talking about for return to sender, for example, and she talks about justice, that's exactly right. What you're doing is, if somebody does something to you, whether it's good or bad or evil, you want to keep the good. But if they have ill intentions and you do a return to sender, what you're doing is you're not sending bad intentions back. You're like a mirror. You're just having it bounce off of you and return back to where it came from. So if it's one person that sent it, it's going to bounce back to them. If there's 5 people that send it to you, it's going to bounce back to all 5 of them. So that's how you have to Look at it. The same way with hexes, the same way with curses. If you feel that somebody did that to you, you can do the return to sender. It's not bad. All you're doing is reflecting it off of you back to them so that you can be at peace with yourself. So instead of saying good, bad, black, white, all of this, just see it as the energies what you're working with. None of us works with anything evil. We don't call them demons and devils and whatever is out there. I don't even know what you call them out there because we don't work with them. We work with angels. We work with our guides. We work with our spirits. You know, we work with the universe. We work with the ether. So all of this that we do is good. There are people that has things coming to them, and all you're doing is sending it
Hi,
back.
Christina. Sis.
Because
Hi,
you can
Phoenix, sis.
also, hello everybody, so you can see it as a boomerang effect. Somebody throws a
Yeah.
boomerang, it's gonna turn back around and go right back to them. So that's another way that you can, that you can see it. Now, somebody had asked Gothic in here
The other
about
way is
the
like doing the
occult.
balance. Yep, it's
Yeah.
making the balance up. I don't know if you want to repeat about I think I don't know how you could even explain this without mentioning what you had to do, but sometimes there's things you need to do to re-energize it, to regain that balance. So say somebody does something really negative, it's a really bad thing. But we know as witches and things or as spiritual people that that thing wasn't right. And we know that this is a repeating pattern of this person, okay? Doing this negative situation. We can then go in and stop that situation from repeating itself through one way or another. Now, a lot of people will see that as a darker working. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But it may be a darker working in a lot of witches' eyes, but it's for to stop a, at the A word that ends with E. It could maybe stop things along that cruelty to animals. It could maybe be to stop that. So there is things like that maybe be seen as darker because we are then going in and we are then changing somebody's will, if you like. That's seen as a darker working, but it's for a better purpose. It's for they're the ones that's doing the negative thing. So we are then going in and doing the positive thing, if you like. That is then regaining the balance. Also, I remember as well, that is why I put up Hecate's picture on the thumbnail. Now, the picture of Hecate that is up is her darker side. If you look at all the Hecate pictures I usually share her in our love and light side. But this picture that is up of Hecate tonight is her darker side. Now, every single one of the goddesses, Lilith, Hecate, Freya, Persephone, they all have a
All
love
of
and
them.
light side that we work with,
All of
but
them.
they also do have a darker side, guys. And that's where a lot of people will get that mixed up and think they're demons because they're a darker side, but they're not. They're goddesses. It's just that. They have got the balance, much as all us witches have. We have got free will to use our gifts the way we see we want to use them. The goddesses are behind us with both their energies. We can call upon Hecate. Well, it's me Hecate. It's Freya for Sister Sherry. But we can call upon them to also to bring out their darker side for us, to help us clear the pathways for us, to help us clear away any blockages and things that is in the path in our path. So that could be seen as using the goddesses for a darker thing instead of using them for a good thing, such as healing, manifesting, and things. So remember, there's also that aspect of it, and these are generational. There's every single religion has got this in it. Angels, demons. So it's not a bad thing. It's just the way the world. It's just the way things are. It's the way you choose to use them. We could go and conjure something right now that would make a boomerang effect on every single person that's ever done something to us. But why would we do that? Because we know we're doing that for the bad, so we would get returned on that. So why would we put
Yeah.
that out only to get it back on us. We know what we're going to get, so we don't do it, guys. But we can put blockages in that is maybe seen as darker, but it's for positive reasons. So I don't know if the sisters want to maybe comment on that kind of aspect of having to do a darker working, which is really a positive working, if you know what I mean.
At the end of the day, how I look at it, like I said to you in the previous thing, sometimes there are just some things that we're dealing with that you can't use the light, just the light, to sort that out. You do need to bring your darker elements in to do that as well. And like Sis said, it's not invoking a demon or a negative energy to come in. It's invoking the energy and the balance of this world, which is obviously both dark and light, good and bad, whatever you want to say. Now, a lot of it's the intention. Okay, any practitioner can sit there and use the light and dark energy, yeah, but it's how you use it correctly. Like, some people will use it very darkly and do really bad things. Then you've got people like us, witches like us, that don't do negatively, but sometimes we have to do things that look like it's negative even though it's not. It's doing, like Sister Drew said, it is doing it for the better. Like, for instance, I'll talk about something that happened. I'm not going to say the person's name, but when my partner was, when like people that I know went through some really bad stuff, there were some people that went and was causing some trouble and not doing very nice things. And as a community, we come together as a coven of sisters. Okay, we come together. We were in the chat, and there was different things that were done that some people would have classed as maybe being a negative thing. We done things such as putting somebody inside something to stop them from being able to influence and do bad on the person that they were affecting. Okay, then somebody else used mirrors to reflect back the energy to that person, so it goes back to that person. Now, a lot of people have been like, oh, that was negative, that's evil, that's dangerous. There were other things done as well, obviously, but it wasn't negative because it was done for the greater good. There wasn't any harm asked to be done. There wasn't no negativity asked to be done to that person. We simply were just protecting a person that needed the help and making sure that that person was shielded and protected from what was affecting them. And it did work. And, people come up to us every day and go, oh, you do really negative work when you send back on people and you do this and that. That's like you cursing them, and it's not. We're not cursing them. We're sending back what they've given out. That's all we're doing. It's like we said,
manifested also for that person to have a better life.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
we didn't manifest that person to go.
And I will even do
that for them to move even on and do better.
When I've had to do certain spells on enemies just to keep them at bay from me and things like that. I've never done any negative or bad to them. I've always asked at the end, please help them see the light. Help them to clear their heart from the darkness. Bring them to the light. Now, I never ever put harm or evil on anybody. I don't agree in that. But I will use dark elements with my light elements when it's needed. It doesn't mean that I'm conjuring up stuff from the devil, because it is nothing to do with the devil. That's all I can say. So, Sister Mystical?
Definitely agree, PPR, brother. Yeah. PPR saying positive and negative work together, balances what the negative is stronger than causes problems for people that don't know how to counterbalance that. That's exactly like PPR. People that don't know how to work with energies are the ones that does the harm, because essentially they're untipping that balance. They're tipping it that way to the darkness, so that's where the badness ends up coming in. Spot on.
But you can conjure up bad energies, right? Of course you can.
Sorry,
you can
sister,
conjure up bad energies. You can. You can conjure up like bad energies, but that's not what we do. Conjuring up bad energies in the way that you're asking about, Banshee, would be like invoking and calling out to negative energies to come forth and giving certain things over. We don't do that sort of thing. We're not that way. Yeah, I mean, we're not like that.
Hi, Hatchie. Listen, even when we're asking the goddess's darker side to do something for us, we're not asking her to go do harm to somebody. We're just asking her essentially to bring out our tougher side, because we need something done quick. We need it done with power, and we need it done so that it doesn't come back. That is essentially what it's doing. But then there's also the way of the person that is doing that other thing, such as maybe harming an animal, maybe done something that's really bad, if we didn't do that, guys, they're continuing on that pattern. And we probably would never have knew about it if it wasn't for somebody really knowing this was happening. That is why we took over and done it, you know. So anyway, it was your welcome in, Colin. It's what you want to say, Mystical. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Welcome in everybody that is coming in and popping in. We're trying not to interrupt each other because we have a bad delay, so we're trying not to talk over each other. Okay, so if we're reading your messages and we don't get to them, it's because we're not wanting to interrupt the other person that's talking. This is my saying because you have the everyday people that if you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off, well, maybe not you, I'm saying there are thousands of them out there, and you're like, you stupid son of a bitch, I hope you run off the road. What do you think that is? What do you think it is? You just put bad juju on them, okay? So, for anybody that hasn't done that, then kudos to you. Now, I have a saying because this is something that has touched my heart in things that I know about. And my saying is, I always say, sometimes a curse is necessary and not necessarily bad to protect the innocent. Some people need to taste their own wrongdoing to stop their abusive ways to you and to others. So you know there's people out there in the world that torture, okay? Torture animals, torture kids, stuff like that. If I have the ability to stop them, now I don't have to bring harm and say I hope they have a car wreck and fall off a mountain and die or something. That's not what I'm talking about. If there is a way to stop them so that they can stop abusing that person, maybe it's even their grandmother. You always hear about these people that abuse the elderly, abuse the kids, abuse animals. So there is a way to stop them without calling on the so-called evil out there to come in and do your bidding for you. You can call on the universe. You can call on whatever you need to call on that is good, that can stop that in their own way. Because, like they say, things work in mysterious ways. So you can stop them. It's a matter of words. Words mean everything. So you have to think about how you are saying things, how you put it out, how you put it in the universe, you know. So there is a way to stop that kind of thing without calling on some I don't even know what to call the names because I don't know
I
them because
know,
I don't
see,
work
that's
with them or use them.
exactly.
But I
I
know
don't
that
know
I
what
can
to say
stop it
because
with what words I choose, to stop them, for there to be justice. I gotta plug in my phone too.
well,
It's
that's it.
almost dead
Remember it.
over here.
So you've got to remember, guys, when we start to take this path, remember we have got power in our hands, okay?
Oh shit.
So it really is down to each individual one of us how we use that power. When you really do it, and I'm talking to the people here that hasn't started doing workings or anything yet, because that is our next step. Remember, is building the altars and things. So when you start to take this path and you start seeing little bits of power that you're going to have, you're changing this, changing that, doing a spell for this one, doing a spell for that one. When you start to take that path and you start seeing that, you can start to feel what works, what doesn't, what has to be done to do this, to do that. So you'll start feeling your power. Now remember, we all have free choice to what we do with that power. That is where we need to explain why there is other people that does work with the dark energies. Now remember, as we've always told you, anything that you do, that is up to you. We are not judging anybody anywhere whatsoever, okay? Just like the fact that when any of us have to do any workings that does stop maybe the things that we're talking about, animal abuse or anything like that, that is because we really do have to do it. We're not doing it because we want to do it. We're doing it because those animals, those victims, they deserve, and the future victims that would probably be there if we didn't put these blockages in. Anytime I've had to do anything like that, I have always just asked for those people that done the harm to please be punished for what they done so that they'll learn the lesson not to repeat it and no further generation repeats what they've done. Meaning that the victim that they've done something to doesn't repeat that either. So remember, we've got the power to stop things like that if you know how to do it. Usually, something like that, you'll try and do it as a group, such as maybe in your clan, like we've got. You'd maybe turn to a clan for that. And that keeps you focused. That keeps us all focused on that one thing to bring in the energy that's needed. Because things like that are a powerful energy to move. So that's typically when you'll bring in your sisters or your clan, maybe it could even be men in there as well, to help you just push that energy away. It may be seen as darker because you're ridding something, but you're really just ridding the energy that's around those victims, the energy that that person is keeping using to do harm. So what you're doing is you're trying to block that person's energy that kind of keeps pushing that out. So you're making sure that they stop in their tracks and that negative thing that they've done doesn't go any further either. So it's balance. Remember, everything that you do is free will and it's also balance. If you are always remembering that balance, then you can't go for wrong. And when you start building your altars and things, you'll feel that. You'll feel the power because the power is in your altar. That's where you put all your things that make you feel powerful. It's where you start giving all your gifts. So you're giving your gifts to give back so that you essentially get back. Well, not really. You don't do it for that purpose, but that's what it makes you feel like. Because you gift a tumbler of water to your goddess, for example, you feel proud. You feel as if you've fed her and watered her, type of thing. So that's also about playing with the negative and things, darker, sorry, light and dark energies, because you feel, see, when you're stripping a altar down to clean it and things, you feel a bit bad. You feel as if you're taking things away from her. So remember, they're balancing everything that you do. Is just another point of that. So is there anything you want to else add? There's a lot of people in the room. Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in tonight.
The truth and the fact is, a witch is a witch, okay? And to do your magic, do your spells, and that, you use both the dark and the light element. It don't matter if one of you go by saying I do white magic and the other one goes by saying I do black magic. The fact is, you use both elements, the white and the dark magic, to form magic. You have to. It's just sometimes, like we're saying, there's a lot more negativity in this world. So there's a lot more of the darker energy there. It's how you use it. Okay, it's not, if you're going to sit there and invoke a negative energy to come in and you're going to ask a negative energy to do something really bad, it's going to do it. Okay, if you're somebody that invokes that dark energy in, but you invoke them in to ask them to do something better and good, then why not? What you've got to remember, like Sister Mystical, I think it was earlier, was saying, if there's a lot more darker energy, you're going to call on the darker energy. You're going to have the darker energy come into that working more than you are the light. Okay. But the fact in the element is no magic that we form can work without both elements. Okay. So whether you're against black magic and you like the white magic, or you're for the black magic and you don't like the white magic, the simple fact is, if you're going to be a witch, you're going to be a practitioner that uses forms of magic, whatever you are, you're using both elements. You can't work
It's
without them.
it's a
So
matter of words on how you
yeah,
phrase
intention.
things.
Yeah,
Yes, if
intention.
you're needing to stop someone from doing harm, it's the words you use to put
Yeah,
out into the universe. So and so is doing this. So and so is doing that. We need to stop it immediately. We need to stop it in a way that it doesn't happen again. You're not asking for bad things to happen. Maybe
No.
the universe will say, you know what, this person is mentally off and psychotic and needs to be put in a hospital so that they can get help. Therefore, leaving the animals
Exactly.
alone, leaving the grandparents alone, leaving, the children or whoever alone, and for it to work, to remove them from that situation and put them somewhere where they can get help.
Get help. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah,
it's a matter of
exactly.
how you phrase things. And you don't even have to say for no harm to come to them. The universe,
No.
when you bring,
Mm.
what you're doing is when you're
Every
bringing it up to
situation
the
is different.
universe, yeah, when you're bringing it up to the ether, when you're bringing it up to the angels and all, what you're doing is you're flagging that situation so
Yeah.
that it can be taken notice.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. And like you don't have to say, I wish no harm to none at the end. But some people just feel that they do like to say that at the end. It's just
Mm-hmm.
them. I do with some of my stuff. I won't. Some of them I
Yeah.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But like Sister Mystical was saying, your energies that you work with know what you need and what you want. They're
Mm-hmm.
aware of that situation. So
Yeah.
it's going to be picked up whatever. It is all about what
Mm-hmm.
comes out your mouth and how you think it as well, because it isn't just the words,
Yep.
it's you thinking as well. Everything plays into that energy. Okay, so even if you don't, some people can sit there and they don't speak out loudly about what's going on, but they're thinking it so hard that something happens. Your mind's just as
Yeah.
powerful as
And
your
remember,
words,
you don't
and
need
it's what makes that.
candles.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you've got to be very careful around that. So
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah, because we're not
You've got to be
doctors,
very
we're not
careful.
psychologists. We can't make a judgment of what is wrong with that person, but we ask for help to correct the situation that is going on.
See, that's where a lot of people can get it mixed up, though, Banshee. I don't know what situation you're talking about specifically, but if it's what I think you're talking about, where you're talking about the people that do harm and it's essentially mental health, that is why you've got to be very careful what you do when you are doing a working like that. Because most of the time, let's face it, probably 90% of that time it's going to be mental health that's made them do something like that. So that is why, therefore, anything that you feel, because remember, every situation is different. So you're getting something in that maybe somebody says to you, okay, my 6-year-old son keeps harming my cat. What am I
Welcome
going to
in.
do? This cat is the love of his life. He's not, he doesn't. I don't want to take the cat off him, but I want him to stop. I want him to love the cat. So what do you do? Do you tell her just to get rid of the cat? Do you tell her that you'll give it a go? So what do you do? Us as spiritual people, we can go in there and we can do a little work and a little candle to bond the boy, the girl, whoever it may be, the adult, the whoever, to that animal to change the will of what they're thinking. Depends on the situation. Though. If it was an adult who somebody's coming to you and saying, there's a man over the back that keeps shooting all the cats in the neighbourhood with a pellet gun, every cat keeps getting harmed, that's totally different working. That's deeper working. You are then going in there knowing that as a repeated behaviour that's probably been for him for he was a kid. So you're then getting in there and you are focusing in on him that's doing the harm to get the help that he needs. You're also going in there to think of to change the energies of the cats in the neighbourhood that keeps getting shot with a pellet gun. You're also putting out loving energy to them, kind of a little bit of pushing out that negative energy that he has put in that neighbourhood, and you're trying to welcome in more loving energies so the cats then can essentially settle back down. Every situation is different. That's why I give you
yeah,
the two scales. You can't just say, okay, every situation I just go in and ask for the karma. You can't do that. Every situation you've got to try and go behind what has happened, who done it, why they done it. Is it something that's happening all the time? And that's where as I think it's actually a privilege to go in and help animals and things that's maybe because they've not got free will like we have. So us as the ones that can go in and kind of change energies, influence energies and things. And also remember, we can ask our guides to go do something for us as well, such as you can ask one of your guides, like maybe ask Billy to go, Billy, can you please go into that neighbourhood and see what is going on and come back and let me know if there's something needs to happen? Go in, do a little bit of investigation with your guides, like get them to go to the area and feel it out. There's so much work that goes into doing anything before you even start to do a spell like that anyway. So it's all about every situation. You have to weigh it up. You have to figure out who's involved. You have to figure out why things are happening. You have to investigate it before you actually go do anything. So remember, you're judging every single thing that's happening at that moment before you do a working. And that is
Yeah,
when you'll know how far to go and when not to go, or how far you're working you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get your sisters involved to do a full ritual to rid the negative energy out this neighbourhood. There's so much goes into it, guys. But we will get to that stage. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is everything that we're trying to teach you is for the purpose of you knowing there is going to be that chance out there for you to work with dark energies, dark and light. Just remember, everything is free will, okay? Before you even go build your altars and welcome in goddesses and things, everything you do has to be that you know it is for your higher purpose. It's for the better of yourself, it is for the better of the universe, and it's better for mankind. It's not to do anything negative or gain riches and
yeah, no,
things. It's just so that you feel physically, spiritually balanced, that you can maybe help people from making your mistakes. You can maybe help people that's doing harm here and also reward people that's doing good there. There is so much in it, guys. That's why we're trying to learn these from the start, and hopefully you'll get an understanding of what we're trying to teach you. So,
oh yeah.
over to one of you
And
girls.
Gothic, like Gothic, someone who does that for a sake of it is just damn right a total piece of garbage person. Yeah, I agree. Anybody that goes out hurting another
Yeah.
person or an animal is a very negative person. But again, like Sister Drew's saying, you don't really know the backgrounds and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah.
practitioners. A lot of the people that come to us live so far away. We can't be judgmental, even though we
It's
don't
never
agree.
happened, Banshee. I was just giving you a made
Even,
up scenario.
even though like we do not agree with what that person's done to that animal or that other person, and we probably do feel like this person does, we have to be the sensible ones, because if we, like Sister Drew and Mystical have said and myself, if we done something that was negative towards that person, it's going to come back on us, and it could come back on the people that are needing the help as well, because they've spoke to us. You have to be logical when you're in the craft. There's going to be situations that you're faced with that you're going to hate so much, and you want to do something of the opposite, but you know that you can't, because it's going to come back on you. It could come back on the innocent. You have to be able to burden that and understand that, you know what I mean? So that's why we act in a certain way. It doesn't mean that we agree with, children molesters or anything like that. We don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
But
it was just a
you have to look
scenario.
logically and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? And like Cherry saying, I'd be round there knocking on the door and I'd shove it up his beep. Yeah, that's probably how all of
So
us would feel. But in our magical practice,
Mm-hmm.
we can't be like that, because we can get so much back for acting in a negative way. And in
yeah,
my opinion, if we can go back and demonstrate what somebody's done to somebody already, then we're no better than them. Okay. If we're doing it in that negative way, that's why we have that heart and we do it a different way. Okay. Because we're not at that level.
exactly,
And
Amelia.
sometimes we do have to step in and do things to stop people doing things. And people might think that's really bad, but you don't know the outcome. You don't know the situation we've been given and been faced with. Okay, so when we act and do what we do it out of the
Exactly.
best interest of
Yeah.
what we're doing and of them. And like you could get murderers and people that maybe there's somebody that's wanting justice because they've lost somebody, and that this person's making it really difficult. you know, again, that's a very horrible situation
Yeah.
to be faced with. If you've got to try and help somebody to get justice for somebody they've lost through the hands of someone that's not being truthful in that. But again, you've got to look logically and sensibly. You do not send the harm out because you're as low as them. What you do is you bring that energy and that. How I look at it is, I bring that energy, that pain, and those emotions that those people come to me with, and I conflict that into a good energy, and I conflict that into an energy of justice, an energy of him to be open and to be truthful and things like that. You know what I mean? We can't go round causing spells that's going to kill them, or they're going to have something really bad happen to them, because it's always going to come back on your head,
Yeah,
guys. That's
we
why
would
you've
get
got
it
to be
all
logical
back.
when you're doing this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Also, too, I want to add to that, if I may. Um,
Yeah,
Being that I used to do workings for other people, now I don't do them for other people. I just show them how to empower themselves, give them ideas and try to help them. But if you get to the point, and you may already be there, so I don't really know you other than the chat, other than being subscribers and talking to us on a regular basis. We really don't know you. I mean, Drew may know some of you personally, but I don't. But if you get to the point that you're doing workings for other people, always remember where you are in that spot. I have had people come to me and say, so and so is doing this to their grandchild, or they're doing this to their spouse, and I want something done. I want them stopped, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Even if you have the power to do it, you have to be justified in what you're doing. Because what I used to do is say, okay, if that's happening, I want proof. Don't come to me and ask me for my help without proof. If you're saying they were beating him this and this and that, I want to see the police reports. I want to see the pictures. I want to see that that's taken place. And I guarantee you, 99.9% of the time, they will not come up with any of that proof, because a lot of times it's not even taking place. They just wanted vengeance. They just want to retaliate because that person has pissed them off somewhere down the line, and they want to get back at them. So
oh
they
yeah,
go and they ask a witch or somebody that's spiritual to do something to them, when that's not even what's going on. So I never do anything without
Mhm.
proof. That's when I used to do
oh
workings
yeah.
for people. I don't
That's why you
anymore.
send your
But
guides. Yeah.
but
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 you don't go forward with things till you know for definite. Definitely,
that's
yeah.
right. That's right. You have to have proof. If you're accusing this other person of doing something, it's the same way if you went to court, you would have to show proof of it. The same way
Yeah.
with me, I would be like, where's the proof? I
Of
need the
course
proof.
not,
Send
bad
me the
she.
proof. You know.
Yeah.
But
We would never take offence, Banshee. That is where
Definitely
this
not. No.
our clan. Everybody's allowed their opinion, and even if it's totally different, you're welcome to your opinion, guys. And we've always said that.
and
Remember
that's
that,
why we're
okay?
here. That's
You
why
could
we're
be in
here for
here.
you to ask
Yeah.
questions.
We're all
And we say
Just
ask
individual.
remember.
questions.
We're all different. We're not
Yeah.
meant to be the same. We're all different. You know, like we all sit here and we go on about these people that do magic in the dark away and that. But not all of
Yeah.
them are doing really bad things where they're sacrificing things. They just go a little bit deeper, and they maybe use those energies in a little bit more of a deeper outcome, but they're still doing good things. You know what I mean? This is where people go wrong.
Yeah.
You've got the ones that don't want to help you, don't like you, don't do want to do harm, want to do bad, want to do this, and they use really bad energies. But then you've got other people
And we don't
that work with that
associate with
same
anybody
energy,
like that.
and they don't
All our
sacrifice things. They don't do these
yeah.
sort of things. They just use that energy and know how to open to that energy to get what they want.
Yeah.
There is a big difference, you know what I mean? Like you're going on about the occult. Now, I personally wouldn't be in a cult, but you can't look at an occult and think everybody in that occult's bad, because there isn't. A lot of them probably are really good people. They've just got certain things in the cult they believe in and they follow, but they still have that love and that respect. When I've said to you I don't want to be part of an occult, it isn't because I dislike them.
Mm.
It's just not for me. Okay, it's not
That's
my
why
way
we're a
of life.
clan, guys. That's
Yeah,
why we're a clan and we're not a coven, because we're
don't
all different.
sit
We're
there
all
and think
free to
that
leave. We're all
cult
yeah. We're
witches are
all
bad, because they're not.
equal. Yeah.
They're not bad at all. Some of
You
them are
know,
really, really good
yeah.
people. I know people that have been from occults. I've got friends that are from occults. They're not bad people at all. They just have a bit of a slight different way than what I work. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not for me. So,
And the word occult, the word occult, OCCULT, it really just covers everything that's magical, mystical, of the
well, strange.
mystical
Yeah.
realms,
It
No, it
it
is what it
anything
is.
that's
actually
strange.
it actually derives from the word secret or
Yeah.
secrets.
Right,
Hidden,
Secret.
hidden
Secret.
is what.
right.
Yeah. Secret.
Yeah.
Secret. That is what it is. It's not,
Hmm.
you know, the occult thing has been put out of proportion in these days because a lot of people do take their own rules up in the cults, and some things do go on in some occults that are not good. But that doesn't mean that every occult's like that. There are different types of
Yes.
occults, okay? And as Sister said, all it really symbolizes is really magical and, you know, open people that have the ability to be able to use different energies and different forms, and that's what they do. It's just that, you know, sometimes certain rules and stuff
Hmm.
can be brought into certain things, and people maybe have to practice slightly different. But it doesn't mean that you categorize them all as being bad, because they're not.
Hmm. So,
You know,
y'all see Drew, you see Sherry, you see me up here, several times a week, whether we're on each other's channels. And some of you looking in might think, okay, they all think the same, they all do the same. No, we're
we
all
don't.
different. We do things
No,
different.
no, no, no.
Some things we disagree on, but we all understand that at the end of it, the results may be very similar. We just go about it different ways to come out with
Yeah,
the end results. So
you're not meant to be the same.
everybody
Yeah,
is going to be different. Everybody is.
There is no wrong or right
yeah.
way to be a witch in the craft, guys. Okay, don't matter how you practice, how you are, how your magic is. Everybody's individually different. Everybody's meant to be individually different. Like I've said to you so many
Yeah.
times, you could put 10 witches together, tell them all to perform the same ritual or spell, and they'll all do it completely different. It's just what
Mm-hmm.
fits with you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now
mean
there
that is
are
what it is.
now
Remember,
with
guys.
yeah, with that being said, there are some so-called witches or whatever you want to call them,
I call them
whatever they go
wannabes.
by. I'm not going to throw any specific names out there, but there are
Yeah.
some that does
Hi,
push
Beth.
it to the extreme for a lot of negative stuff. But what we're
Yeah.
saying is we're not them, okay? We are not them. So that's a whole different a whole different ball
To
game over there.
to me, in my
Welcome
opinion,
in.
those sort of
Yes.
people are not witches. In my opinion, those sort of people are not witches, okay? Because in my opinion, real witches are people that have love for the world and for the things in it. And
That
we
are
want to help and we
healing,
want to be
Exactly.
that a
good and
lot of
want to do things
healing.
like that. That's a real witch. So these
Yeah.
people that portray themselves as witches really mock what we are as witches when they do that. Because that is not a witch's way of working. Not at all. It's
Guess.
no
Yeah.
harm to none.
Exactly.
No harm to none for a reason.
Hmm.
You know what I
You
mean?
know,
So
guys, that is where every. I know that we say that we don't need labels, but that's where the labels do come in and they're
yeah.
important. I wish that people would stop using the label witch for people that is really like Satanists or the.
Hmm.
I don't even know the word. See, this is
Sacrifice
why I get
people.
stuck. I don't know the words for them. But listen,
Sacrifice. Yeah, we don't do none of that.
we don't even associate around people like that. That's why we can't really explain it. I've read it in books and things about it, so I can explain it to my mind, but I can't explain it to people. And I don't know anybody like that because I wouldn't bring the negativity in. At one point in time, I was going to try and interview somebody that was like Satanist and things. That was when I was with that first company because I
I
wanted to
did.
know about, and then I thought, why would I bring that negativity to me? So I didn't even bother going along with it because I feel as if you are who you surround yourself with. So therefore, I try and surround myself with all my sisters that are positive. They're the same as me to the core as I am. We only want peace in the
Yeah.
world. We only want to help people, you know?
I did interview the guy that you're on about. There was a male and female that
Right.
worked together, and they are part of that.
Yeah.
I only got him. I'm going to say to you now, he's the most loveliest guy you could meet. Okay. There are different types of Satanists. There are ones that will call upon the energies of the demons and stuff like that, but they do not do it for a negative thing. They do it for other symbolization. They believe, just like us, in justice and stuff like that. I met him personally on lives. He's come on to a couple of my shows. He's actually a really educated guy, very interesting. And he's, when we had the interviews, he explained what he does and what he represents, and that he was saying that he's not one of these people that go around seeking to hurt people or do anything, but he will take things into his hands if it's necessary. Okay. And he goes around and cleanses people's houses, helps people, gets rid of negative energy, things like that. But that's what I'm saying. There are different types of occultists, and there's different types of Satanists. Even though they're called Satanists because they work with the demons and whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that they're an evil person. They just know how to work with that darker energy better than the light. Okay. And this is what he explained. And he's done a lot of knowledge, and a lot of it originates from his belief and his way of being brought up. Okay. But you've got those ones that are classed as Satanists that do call upon the devil and the demons, and they do nothing but harm, evil, and badness, like Sister Mystical said. There are people like that, and Sister Drew's right as well. But don't think that everybody that takes the form of Satanist on is actually an evil person, okay? Because they just have slightly different beliefs. They have slightly different ways that they believe in this colony and stuff, okay? And they believe in a different form of justice. It's completely different. And he said that's where people get mixed up when you hear the name Satanist. When you tell somebody you're that sort of work, they presume that you're that sort of person. No, there's different types. And I'm like, right, okay, it's just we do work with dark energy, not with the light energy. But obviously, anyone knows that if you're doing magic, you're working with both anyway. So, I just want to say that I'm not comprehending saying go to a Satanist place and start doing all that. It's brilliant, because there are a
Yeah.
lot of very bad people that do that. But the one that I met, really down to earth, lovely guy. He goes to people's houses and helps people get things out of their house. He does really good things. He just has a slightly different way that he looks at stuff. And he's done a lot of years of studying to understand how to work with these energies in the correct way so that they don't cause harm. They just bring justice and things like that. So, again, everybody's different, and don't judge a book by its cover. Just because you hear the name doesn't mean they're all the same. They're all very different. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but
It's
I'll
see,
tell
that's
you,
why I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I'll have
want
to
me
see
to
if I
answer
can
Away
get
Beth's
him
back
to come on
question?
then.
one of our shows. I'll talk to him and see if Phil can come on one of our shows, so you guys can
Yeah,
actually meet him and he
definitely.
can explain to you what he does. You know what I mean?
It would be
He's
good
not a
just to
negative
hear
energy.
it.
He's so funny, Drew. You would be in stitches with him. He's a funny guy, funny guy. He would have you in stitches. You know what I mean? He's really down
We
to earth.
need
You're
to
right,
listen.
babe.
We need to go. We need to
So
look
I'll
that him
see.
on.
See.
Drew, do you
Yeah.
want me to answer Beth's question if you want to put it back up
Yes,
there?
please. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to find it.
Where
I
is
can't
Beth's
find it.
question?
I'm trying
It
to find
starts off,
Kaylee's
what do you
question.
do when you know?
I'm not even
Who
seeing
put it up
Beth.
again? Was it Kaylee or was
Oh,
it?
it was
Was it?
Beth.
Oh, it was Beth. That's right. I thought it was
I'm not
Okay,
seeing Beth.
Kaylee there. It was
okay,
Beth.
okay. So what it
Beth's yeah,
says,
maybe
I'll go
it's
ahead and it says, what do you do when you
you not
know
seen Beth,
someone?
Stas? You should answer it and I'll put it up.
Okay, it said, okay. The question is, what do you do when you know someone has put a curse on you? I don't know who did it. I just know a few people have told me I have a curse on me recently. First of all, you need to make sure that whoever told you that, is has how I mean, how do they know that you did? Okay, first of all. Second of all you need to do is get you a candle. Okay, you can even write on the candle, in the event that I have a curse, I don't know who it is. I want it to go back to them, reflect off of me, to go to go back, to move away from me, what you do is you get a mirror. You can go to like Dollar Tree and get those little mirrors, that you open up and it's a mirror on both sides. Keep it closed. Just get you a hammer or something and smash it where it breaks in pieces. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is get those pieces of the mirror. Don't look in them. You don't want your reflection in them.
No,
Okay? So get the
won't look in them.
pieces. Just get some tape and tape it to the candle, like in several places, like north, south, east, and west. Okay? And you can write on a piece of paper that you don't know who it is, that you want it to get off of you. You want it to just be sent back to where it came from. You don't have
I
to know
think
who
you've got
sent
a
it to
video. I'm
you.
going to find it.
Yeah, I have a
Got a video
video,
on that.
but that way you can just send it back. You light the candle, and with
Right.
that candle, you get that piece of paper, and you burn it. Put it in a uh, something that's fireproof. Okay, so you burn it with the candle lit. You put it in the fireproof deal. Don't let your reflection in those mirrors. Okay, so you have it facing away north, south, east, and west, and that's all you do is say it. So anything that has come to you or will come to you in the future will just hit that mirror and just go right back to them. You don't even have to know who it is. It's that simple. Okay, put your intentions on the words on what is being said for it to go back.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. And I do, like my
Yeah.
way of like removing hexes and curses are a little bit different. I use a illustration which is a plate. I will roll out a clay plate. I put things like bay leaf and other herbs that I know that are associated with removing them. I get an oil that I have that is associated with removing them. I'll put the intentions of the person needing to be protected, and then the intentions of the person that it needs to be returned to, and I'll do that, and I do an individual protection thing over the person that's been affected as well. And what I do is I will put all of the herbs and the papers that I've wrote on with the intentions of what's happening to that person and the person that's doing it. Or if I don't know the person, I'll just say the person is not known that is affecting so and so. And I'll burn that, put that in with the bay leaf and that, and I put my intentions that any energy coming from that person to this person will be taken by this plate, that it will sit within the plate. So then I put it outside in the elements of the daytime, which is by the sun. This is what will dry it out. Then I put it into the moon so that our sister moon can give it energy and help it to do its thing. Then what I would normally do is either leave the plate if it's to do with me in my house, or if it's for somebody else, the plate would be sent to that person, and the person keeps hold of that plate for several months until they feel that they're not being affected anymore. And I do say to them to do things like keep sage in the south, their spiritual baths and stuff like that to keep them cleansed, but to keep that plate close by. So that's what I'm saying. There's different ways that people sort out
Yeah.
hexes, curses, and that. And some people have put symbols that reflect it as well, and all sorts. So I do that
See, they're
sometimes. It
different.
depends. Yeah,
See, do you
it
see how
depends on what it
different
is.
we are, guys?
Yeah,
And I would do
yeah,
it totally different from that. So I would,
yeah,
because what I would do is if I was sort, I would get. See, I'm a candle magic type of person. I'm a candle magic. I go straight to candles for everything. So I would do a candle, and what I would do was I would put a rope around it, and I would make sure that that rope around that, when I'm putting that on, that is the intent of that person that is doing that to them. So when that burns away, all that is away from them. That's the way I break a hex. That the rope is around the candle, so that is essentially every single bad thing that is being done to them is my intent going into that, wrapping that round with the intent that when it burns away, so the candle's going to be everybody's name on it. People that's
yeah,
essentially that person. So say it was me, it would be Andrina on the candle, my date of birth. I want to get rid of all negative energy that's around me, any curses, any hexes, any bad juju, any evil eye is going to go when this cord goes down to the bottom of the candle. Everything's gone. So basically, you wrap that around everything that's bad. That person that put the evil eye on me, you're doing all that as you're wrapping it around. You put your candle up, you light it, and you let it do its business. Once it's gone, it's gone. You forget about it, and that's you over. You live your life with
Yeah,
positive energy for that. Usually, there's nothing
there is
left
a
but
lot.
crumbs, so you can do
There's
what you want with
many.
them.
There's many forms and ways that you can do these, any
Yeah,
sort of spell and ritual, and everybody,
so
as we've
many.
proved today on the
Yeah.
panel, we all do it completely differently.
Yeah, I
Sister
think I
Sister
have
Mystical
several
uses a
different.
candle, and she uses mirrors. I use a clay plate and different herbs, and Sister Drew does
Yeah,
string
there's so many
binding
ways.
around a candle. We're all different.
I think I have several
All
videos
different,
on it on
guys.
different ways.
And I've done different
Yeah.
ways as well. I've done the wrapping
Hmm.
and binding thing, and I've done the other things. I just really relate to my clay plating. It really works for me, my clay plating one. It really does
See,
for
your
me.
clay plates works for Sister Sherry. Candle magic
Yeah.
works for me. Mystical does it her way as well. It's what you guys will find that. You'll find what works for you. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to pray. Prayers are powerful. Sometimes, much like Sister Phoenix. Sister Phoenix is going to start coming up at random, guys, when she's got time. Much like Sister Phoenix, she's a great prayer person. Any prayers and things that she does for people, they're usually your prayers are like you that. So there is certain things that people will have their strengths in. If you, any of you guys have been here for this journey for years with us, you know way back when I had the idea to open the coven, and I'm not saying this to be bad or anything, when were we started the coven, we started it up, but Sister Sherry and I weren't together. We weren't kind of talking at the time. We weren't not talking. We were just doing our own thing, and so she wasn't in. It didn't really feel right to me. So I was
Welcome.
picking people to join the coven and things, the clan as I call it. But everybody that I was adding to the clan, it was people that I had watched for years, that I had noticed little certain things in the chat, that they had certain opinions, that they always kept commenting, they always had a great advice for people. So it's all those type of people that I added in. And then obviously Sister Sherry and we started talking just as I opened it up. And I was like, do you want to join the clan? Perfect timing because Mystical was in there as well and we were all there. So it meant that there was every single person in place that we had always had that rapport with each other. We had always anything we had ever done always worked. So every single person that is in the clan helping to teach everybody has all got their own strengths. I can't wait till Phoenix finds the confidence to come up. And Evie as well. Evie's good at tarot and things and she doesn't realise it. But they're all these the other things that they can tell you. And Uncle Danny's a bit due popping up as well. So all these people will be able to give you a better perspective on a lot of things than we can as well. Because they've all got little expertise and things that we don't have in different views again. So definitely don't ever apologise or anything for anything that you ever feel or you are doing different or remember what Mystical especially has always told you, and Sister Sherry and I tell you, if you want to use something different, use it. Always do what you're guided to do, okay? Remember that. So changing the subject just a little bit for our Hatchie, who is one of our long-time followers, guys. So we're going to change the subject just for a moment for Hatchie's question. He wants to know, let's talk ley lines. So I don't know if you want to talk ley lines with spirits or ley lines with what we're talking about tonight, Hatchet. But there is a prime example of ley lines. Ley lines can help you draw in energies. If you notice when we'll talk about paranormal here for a minute, if you're on a paranormal investigation, for example, and there's a ley line, much like I do believe maybe there at Lovers Lane where the witch attacked me, and now we're friends. Anyway, much like there, I do believe there may be a ley line there, and then that added with the water really makes it a kind of portal, magical spot, if you like. So my opinion of ley lines is they're good for drawing energy and things, and I do believe that when we're walking through the woods and things like that, and maybe all of a sudden we'll feel like energy and things, who knows? There could be ley lines underneath us then. Maybe it's the ley lines that direct us to where we need to go. Who knows? But ley lines are an interesting subject. I don't know too much about them. I just know that they're great for energy. Is there anything you sisters want to add?
Ley lines, they can be used for quite a lot of reasons, really, can't they? So, like, yeah, you've got it with the energy, and obviously they link up places. And like Sister said, that they lead you to certain areas you need to go to. You can have portals and things that open around ley lines as well, which is where energy is coming in and out. Some people even use the ley lines as ways or form of travel in astro traveling and things like that spiritually. So there are so many reasons why the ley lines are here. And I most definitely believe they're a form of a doorway, but a doorway in a different way. They're not like a doorway, like a portal. They're a doorway to our world, and I believe they're everywhere. They're all through our world, and they're the points to move into different places. I believe ley lines are maybe the places and the things that you go over, and it takes you into another dimension. For instance, like Sister Mystical, she's in a car, she sees a dinosaur run past her. I believe she maybe went through a ley line energy that goes
Exactly.
back to that time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah,
It's,
ley lines have so much
Yep.
energy. It's almost like a burst at certain times, letting
yeah,
that burst out. Also, too, ley lines have been known to be um, like aliens. If you believe in
yeah,
aliens,
yeah,
they've been also known to have something to do with that. That they use the ley lines for the earth to also, like we use roads. They use the energy from the ley lines, however it is that they use it, that they've been associated, that they're seen a lot around the ley lines. But the energy is a whole lot. If you're doing an investigation, you know there's ley lines around.
Definitely,
Chances
Kara.
are you're going to get a whole lot more activity going on.
oh yeah, I agree with that. And that Stonehenge most definitely is on ley lines. There is no disputing that at all. Definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely some man, Hatchie. We all love you. We can take you. We know your personality, okay? You're differently cuz. Hope that explains it a little bit for you better. So yeah, I was thinking that as well, that maybe Stonehenge and things is on ley lines. Does there anybody know if it
Oh
really
yeah,
is?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was wondering
There's
that.
most
Yep, so
definitely
there you
other
go.
like
So
ways.
listen guys, Mystical has still got a cold room, I do believe. So we're going to be at it an hour and 13 minutes. We will be going an hour and 30, so we've got 15 minutes left. Is there anything? Now, this is back to the Witchy 101 type of thing, right? So, is there any questions on anything that we covered tonight in the Witchy 101 with the dark energies and light energies? Is there anything you guys that are learning want to know? Remember and put them in the comments below if you catch it on the replay. So, just remember that we're always open to the fact that you don't um, do the same as we do or anything. So just remember
Oh yeah.
that if you want to comment and things, just tell us what you think. Is there any other questions? And the ones that are in the clan group on WhatsApp, keep talking in there if you want as well about it all. We're there to ask the question, answer the questions in there as well. But these are all mostly clued up in there. This is more for the people that's watching on the background that don't comment and things.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely try and comment and ask us questions if we've not covered anything for you.
Because remember, this is
So,
our
what do you want?
opinions, okay? This is our opinions, and we're giving you from our own personal experiences. You may
Yeah,
have talked to someone else that has experienced things different, but we're just telling you from our point of view what we've experienced, and pretty much that's it, just goes from
yeah,
there.
Just be
definitely.
you. Be you and be comfortable
Yeah,
in what you learn, and just go with the journey. Okay, that is what the craft's about. It's not just about forming magic and doing all this stuff. It's about learning about yourself and discovering yourself as well. That is a big part of this. Even though we're here to help and to guide and whatever else, going
It really
into a
is
craft
about that.
about
It really is.
finding
Yeah.
you, finding your connection as well. That is so important, guys. So just be you. You don't have to be like anyone else. You're not meant
Thank you,
to be.
Beth.
Okay, have your own magic. Own magic.
Yeah. Remember, we all stay different places. We all have different environments that going on around
Yeah,
us. So all our practices are going to be different, guys. We're all in different countries, different spots of the world, different situations. Please just remember, you will feel your power when you start practicing and start giving your offerings and giving your power and giving your thanks and things and drawing in your energies. Just don't abuse that power. Always use it to
mm,
do love and light. Always do it for the better of yourself, your soul, others, people's souls. Always use it to do for the better of mankind. Anybody that
If
you even see is struggling, kind of just say a quick little prayer to the goddess as you see them walk past. Say, Goddess, please just help that person if they are struggling in their daily
yeah,
life. And it's
yeah,
just little quiet things like that that you do that you can maybe just empower that person with. Use it for the better of good. And
yeah.
guys, I swear, if it's
respect
not for
I
yourself.
you,
agree.
you'll not live it.
Yeah, I agree.
Res-
Yeah,
Respect
definitely Sister
yourself.
Mystical said.
Stay true to yourself, and you'll follow the right thinking that you need to think and to get there.
And like I've always said, like my one advice is don't come in the craft to do something to expect something back. You don't do it to expect something back. You do it because it's love, it's
Exactly.
passion, and it's what you believe in. Okay, you never do
You're
something to
going
get
to
something
find
back.
out pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll find out pretty quickly if this is for you or not, because it
yeah,
really is a way of life. I wouldn't have this full room in my home if it wasn't my way of life. It would be a craft room, or it would still have my son's sports stuff in it. It really is in your core, guys. It's either going to be the way you are, or it's not, and you're
yeah.
not going to feel it. And that's
Hmm.
okay too if you want to just come along for the journey and see if it is for you. Just remember, don't abuse the power is all I kind of want to say, because it really can help people, and it can help.
Thank you.
Look what it done for me. It saved my goddamn life. It really did.
Yeah, same,
I wasn't
same.
used to feeling powered by that.
Bev says, I've been in turmoil for about a month now and I really want it to stop. Well, Bev, it starts with self love, sweetheart. Look at yourself and know that you're something and you're special. Tell yourself that. You can write, you can do little candles and write, positive mementos on there and ask maybe on some of your candles, write where the problem is and that you want it to be removed. Do things to like benefit yourself, sweetheart. There are things you can do at home, not being a witch. Simple as just getting a candle and writing, I want so and so, or I want this issue, and you write the name of the issue down to be removed. I don't want to be hurt by it anymore. You just light that candle. You think about those problems that you're getting, and then being removed from your body. Focus on a light, moving that energy out of your body. It's
And
about
don't
looking
believe
after
them
yourself,
when they tell
meditation,
you.
just sitting there and thinking for a little bit, sitting in nature and just asking them to take that energy that you don't want away. They do listen to you. It's just about
And
connecting.
bubble yourself. If you don't know how to
Bubble. Yeah.
bubble yourself, I've got a
Yes.
video on that too on my channel. Very,
Protection is
very
Guys,
key.
I'll put all
important.
the links in the
Bubble
Yeah.
description.
yourself.
Yeah. Protection's key.
When this
Definitely.
charges, guys, I will put the links to Mystical's videos. I'll try and do it on the laptop when I finish. I'll put the links in the description, or I'll pin them to the comments for the video. What was the video I was to look for again?
The one for sending back, they're like sending back
Oh, yeah,
the for the curse, and then also
I
for
know what one it is.
bubbling. The
Find
bubbling.
that
I've got
one. And
one on that.
guys, I'm going to just put Mystical's channel in there as well, because you can find so much on the playlist.
Actually, the lady that's on the channel with me and Drew is Mystical Love and Light, Rochelle. She's really awesome. Go check her channel out, like Sister's
Yeah,
saying, that she's got so much on
Thank
there.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
she's amazing, guys. I will.
It just
That's
said
what I'll
to
do.
you,
I'll put the
Sherry, you're
playlist
both
here.
okay. Who's the nice? bird from across the pond, mystical something, cat-like. I'm riding.
Oh, my hatchet.
No,
Our
I'm
hatchet.
riddling. Sorry, not riding. Riddling. Sorry.
That's my friend from across. We riddling it. I always say that she's my friend across the world because I do believe if we were in the same town, she would be my best friend. So I always say she's
Banshee.
my best friend across the world, or she's my friend across the world.
Banshee, you don't offend people in here. This community is a very open community, and we accept every type of belief in that in here, sweetheart.
Oh
You've
no,
not
no,
offended.
you would
You're
never offend
family,
us.
darling. You're a sister. There is no offence at all. Not at all.
I'm not easily offended.
We're all different, and we're okay to be different. That's what makes us all unique. So it's fine. Do not worry.
Embrace it.
We're not judgmental, guys.
Right,
We're
I'm
not
going
here
to
to
go,
judge
guys,
you.
because I've
Even
got a
though
hot
we get
flush
judged a
coming.
lot, we're not judgmental.
Well, I judge Mystical. I
flush.
do. I tell her off all the time for saying she's a spiritual being. But, you know, I love her really. Like I said, she's not a frog yet. So she's
We
obviously
don't
doing
really, we
something
just
right.
have a jive.
Okay?
Come on.
I've done this since I was itty bitty. I'm like Sherry. We can
Think
see
about how
spirits.
many
I've done
people
it since
would
I
be
was
in jars.
itty bitty, but I'm still just a spiritual being. As my sister says, I better put that holy in front of it. She says, put that holy. You're a holy spiritual being. That's what my sister always tells me.
Holy spiritual being, there you go. Everybody in the community is just awesome, guys. And I do know that there's people that watch us that don't like to comment and things, but I invite you to start trying to come into the live streams and things like
You
that.
are a
Try
nice
and
person.
experience the chat and be here because you all feel empowered by it. We all try and keep each other going in the comments and things. So this is for the people watching back. Try and push yourself to come into a live stream, okay? Is there anything you want to say, sisters, about anything that's coming up on your channels before we go?
I've just got uploads and stuff coming up on my channel. I've got a meditation video that came on today. That should have been on today. So there is a new meditation video on my channel. I'm obviously in the middle of doing all these carry-on shows from Witchy 101. So keep your eye out for that. Obviously, in the week, we're going to try and get out to the graveyard.
Thank
so
you for that.
keep posted for that as well. And Sister Mystical's show next Tuesday as well, obviously.
Yeah, I've got a lot of videos coming out too. Like they're just like short, showing you how to do certain incense workings, things like that. And they're very, very short, like 4, 5, 6 minutes long. So they're coming out, I think tomorrow night. I don't know. I've got like 6 of them scheduled. So.
Yeah, just keep an eye out for us.
Yeah, all of us.
Good,
and subscribe to all of us if you haven't already. Everybody, even that comes in later, subscribe to
and we'll all say prayers, Beth, for you, okay?
Yeah. Prayers, sis.
Yeah, we'll definitely all say prayers for you when we're doing our altars at night and things, okay? And
yes,
in the morning.
I used cinnamon yesterday.
Yeah, Sister Phoenix, I did my cinnamon. Yep, did so. Right, everybody, I'm going to go. So if you didn't catch that, just remember and always check each other's channels out. I do believe Sister Christina will be live tomorrow night, our usual Saturday night. Maybe me and Miss Sherry will go up with her this week. Who knows? So definitely check it out as well. And just always remember, keep an eye on the channels. If you're sitting and you're bored and you've nothing to do, just check us out, you know. And share each other out because it does help, guys. Definitely, yeah. Okie dokie. Right, I'm going to run the outro, guys, just to let you say cheerio to each other and things. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And I'll play the outro, guys, and say goodbye to each other. Remember, what's going on here. Bye, guys.
Alligators.
Let's do the disclaimer because we were a bit controversial tonight.